Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining me. My name is Todd Bryson. I am a teacher and a practitioner of the Akashic records. My focus and my collaboration with the other side has always been about remembering and learning how to access the quantum field so that you can meet your extraterrestrial brothers and sisters and your guides and your angels and whoever else is there who you deem is worthy of your collaboration in this physical experience of yours. And these are exciting times right now because many of you are sensing the potential to move into a non-typical human experience. And many of you are observing a lot of spiritual curiosity and empowerment bubbling up within you, and you're kind of wondering what to do with it. So let us, in this video, address the proper way to make contact, who might be there for you. What does it feel like? What does it look like? We want to provide this video for you so that when you're looking for resources to know if it's okay for you to step your toe into the other side, that you get an overwhelming yes within you, and this is how you do it. Before I give the information in this, I do want to let you know that activity in the sky has been a very important part of my awakening. I've spent a lot of my awakening driven forward by the potential and the possibility that I might have one of these crafts that I was observing in the sky, land, make themselves known, hugs shared, laughs, whatever it is. That's something I do believe is possible, and I believe that I will experience that one day. But I do want to let you know that that's kind of, the kid stuff. That's kind of linear stuff. That is very earthly, very human, and it's an experience that I want you to understand kind of how to categorize it and what everybody else in the public square is going through when they're observing all of this activity going on around the planet. So why should you use the quantum field to make contact with spiritual beings, energies, collectives, and extraterrestrials? Well, the quantum field allows for direct access, meaning that when I'm looking for disclosure, when I'm looking for contact, when I'm even looking for different perspective and point of view in regards to what's taking place here, I don't have to wait for external events. I don't have to go and chant into the night sky. I don't have to wish for things to unfold around me. When I'm using the quantum field, I know that it's about vibrational compatibility, and I know that if I maintain that compatibility, I'll be easily able to access the quantum field and what's there for me. You should also know that our ET brothers and sisters are much more comfortable operating outside of the physical space. So when you are engaging in the quantum field, you're engaging in the natural systems, you're engaging in a system that is universally compatible to allow you from one bandwidth to observe and to experience and interact with those who might be in a completely different one from you. Another reason to do it this way is because everybody is born to do it. This is something that you remember. This is a standard part of being a physical human, is that energetically there's a quantum field that's supposed to help us maintain that which linearity and illusion might not be able to. So if you are using the quantum field, you're using a system that was made for you and meant to facilitate exchanges of awareness, such as meeting guides, extraterrestrials, and those on the other side who might have an interest in sharing with you or you sharing with them. Like I said, you can wait for the ship to arrive in the sky and to land on the yard, or you can sit down in your front room and you can set the stage and you can set the tone and you can do everything according to what makes you comfortable. And when you use the quantum field, it puts you in the driver's seat. It makes you in charge and responsible for, am I compatible for this experience? Is my curiosity enough? Have I learned what I need to learn? Am I still getting triggered by fear? When you engage in the quantum field, you can do it in the comfort of your own space, which allows for natural, comfortable integration into experiences that your physical self wasn't necessarily taught or trained to experience. So if you are a soul right now who's been taking inventory and who's been healing themselves to the degree that they can focus their conscious intention for a task, this is the task that you've been waiting for. So what do we mean? Meet them in our space, meet them in our front room. Don't wait for them to appear in the sky. Is this possible? Yes, it is. And, you know, they're there mostly all the time. There are some that come and go, but I'll be honest, there are those who are stationed beside you, who never leave their post, and they don't have anything else to do. You know, they are in a quantum experience. They don't need to come and go. They simply stand guard, or they observe, or they even witness what it is that's coming to fruition in this timeline in linearity. So you are in your space. I want to make contact with the Pleiadians. I want to make contact with the Syrians. What you're going to want to do is you're going to want to bring yourself into resonance with that kind of an experience. So before I go into it, I usually start taking inventory, everything that I'm grateful for, cultivating as much love and appreciation and gratitude as I possibly can, increasing my chances of having these experiences. And, you know, we don't need to make it complicated. We don't need to overdo things. We can do rituals. We can do breath work. We can set the stage and the tone however we want to. That's the benefit of doing this in the quantum field. But typically, when I'm setting the intention for their arrival or their awareness or my perception of it when they're already here, I will sit in the dark room. I'll be, you know, it'll be 2 or 3 in the morning. And this is what I did in the beginning. I will sit there and I will state out loud as confidently as I can, "Dear Spirit, if you're here with me now, show me. Dear Pleiadians, if you're here with me now, show me." And I don't have, when saying this, any preconceived notion for how it will play out, because I know that my compatibility is a spectrum. I might be compatible for one kind of a paranormal experience. I might be compatible with, you know, an individual kind of heightened sensation or experience. So what I'm going to do now is cover a wide range of experiences that will give you kind of a clue that their presence is near, that the veil is thinning. And the reason that you should look to identify these little subtle cues, because normally you'll start noticing one, then you'll start noticing more than one at a time. And then from there, it kind of snowballs into a familiarity and a natural reintegration back into that unity field. So, dear Spirit, if you're here, make yourself known. Probably the first thing that you want to look for, and this is where it hits me first, is sudden emotional cues, spontaneous emotional cues. Emotion that arises to the surface unprovoked by anything else that's going on externally. Waves of joy, waves of love. You want to be looking for as well unprovoked curiosity. Your spiritual thinking changes. You get a little bit more clarity. Pathways open. Cognitively, you can start to tie some things together, putting pieces of the puzzle together. So we want to be looking for curiosity as well. We should also be looking for a deep sense of empathy. You know, being able to perceive others' experiences, being able to contemplate or to absorb or to think about things that might have been outside of our perception or awareness before. There tends to be an opening or an availability to things that we could not observe before, you know, when we're getting close and when the veil is thinning. So we also want to be looking for physical sensations. We want to be looking for tingling and vibrations in our body. We want to be looking for focused or localized warmth and cool within our body. They will use temperature and pressure to get themselves as close to you and as tangibly in the space as they can. So you should also be looking for pressure on the body, meaning that, you get a sudden heaviness, you get a sudden lightness, you get a sudden pressure on your left side, you get a sudden pressure on your right side. That might cue you into what they're doing energetically. So all of these things are not necessarily things that you can do and experience in an uncontrolled environment. So we want to be looking for audio signs. You can't do this in a busy home. You can't do this while everybody else is up. So you will be looking for hearing frequencies and tones. You will be looking for subtle whispers. You will be looking for sound that appears to be audibly, externally, moving through the air, but it's actually happening within you. And you also want to observe sudden, complete, almost like enchanting silence, something that we don't get to experience very often. We don't always realize how noisy the world is around us until we sit in our, front room when everybody else is asleep and try to do all this. So we also want to be looking for visual sensations. We want to be looking for orbs. We want to be looking for shadow figures. We want to be looking for, seeing colors and patterns and things in our third eye, and in our physical eyes that aren't normally there, associated with the heightened experience and sensations. And, we're in this experience cultivating an ability to perceive what is normally outside of our perception. So when you start picking up the colors and the visual cues, that tells you that you're doing something, that tells you that you're tunneling your way through that veil, and that you're going to burst out of the other side once in a while. So something else you might notice is waves of energy, feeling as if there's motion in your body, feeling as if there's some sensation that's rolled through you and your body reacted as if there was something physically that moved you or bumped into you or, triggered a sensation of some kind. Something else you might experience is a magnetic tug, and they will come into our field and it's as if they hold a lot of gravity. Sometimes we feel pulled or drawn to them. Sometimes we feel like, we're getting tugged out of our seat, all in a very comfortable and loving and fun way. The goosebumps and the chills, they like to induce the goosebumps and chills. And a lot of times when they arrive in our field, we get that sensation because our resonance has shifted to, straddling the hemispheres of the brain rather being in alignment with one or the other. So there's a lot of different ways that you can align with awareness of them. And I will let you know that when you do stuff like this, it's not all about having the experience on the spot. Sometimes it is about gaining resonance and creating alignment with experiences and sensations after. So I would be looking for increased synchronicity, numbers on the clock, signs and omens and things telling you a story out in the external space around you. I would also look for more communication in dreams, things showing up that allow you to kind of understand that you've gained a connection that was not there before. So the final thing that you should know about this process is that there will be separation triggers. There will be aspects of your physical self that are meant to deny you access to these kinds of experiences. And this is the important time to lose your coherence with those kinds of things. We want to sit in our front room. We want to ask who's there with us. And we don't want the movie that we watched 2 years ago to tell us that it's too scary. We don't want pieces and parts of us saying, what would our friends and family think about this weird thing that we're doing? We don't want to sit there engaged in fear because of what our church told us will happen if we leave this box. And, we're in the period of time where we can no longer allow fear to deter our curiosity. If you are a trailblazer for humanity regaining its unity self, what an honor and what a blessing and what a privilege to teach you how to do it. And I will see you guys very soon. Thank you.